My adventure started at the end of 1989, when I promised my late father I would go in search of the truth. A few years later, Stokehaunted was born, and with my team, hopefully, we will find that truth. We are Stokehaunted.
The viewers that we have might recognise you from a different investigation. You believe it was Rare Steakhouse.
Yeah.
What made you contact us about coming to where you live?
Just because, like, I started packing up and everything. I spent the night here about 4 days ago, and randomly started filming. And I was actually lying there, and with my phone, and then, you know, I'm a big fan of orbs. I got loads of footage, and it was like they were all coming out through that wall, but they were coming out round the doorway. And then I also got it stood at the bottom of the little flight of stairs, looking across all the way through to the kitchen, and things that looked like came out of the bathroom, then went back in, and, you know, it wasn't dust. You know it wasn't dust. Yeah. So I just thought, well, I've got to give the flat up really soon, and then you won't be able to.
What answers do you hope we can give you?
None. It's just for the benefit of figuring it all out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well,
nothing's ever bothered me.
Yep, ready.
So, right. So you obviously it's your premises, so we'll be having you staying with us tonight. So we'll hopefully get back to you halfway through.
Excellent.
And we have another guest with us at the minute. Would you like to give your name?
My name's Nigel.
Nigel. And what kind of interests you in the field of paranormal?
Well,
You were here the other night, weren't you? So,
when she was doing that filming, that, it was just like, you know, I've seen it on like Miss Stokehaunted and all that stuff, and God orbs like, but yeah, there's loads of them, just kept zigzagging, and some slow ones and some dead fast ones. Dead weird. What was all that ones?
Have you done anything like this before?
Oh no. No.
So when you were seeing all these orbs and things like that, did you get any kind of emotional link? Did you feel happy, sad?
Yeah, I was just fascinated, you know.
Okay. Well, I've been told by Katie that you should be joining us tonight. So we will try and get back to you as well halfway through and see how you think things are going.
Yeah, sound.
Yeah, we've just been reviewing some of
Was
a
that-
few
that
video
thing?
clips that Katie's
I'm
actually
not,
called.
no, I think that was
um,
something going past me.
that's
Some
some-
dust was being so close.
I'm loath to say the word orbs, but some strange white objects that are sort of floating around every
Is it
room
like
in
an
this
orb?
flat.
I'll
And they
send
look
it to you.
like
it at a
sort
partic-
of white,
at a particular time
self-illuminating
as
balls, for want of a better word.
Wisps.
This was about
Wisps,
3 in the
floating
morning.
marshmallows,
So
clouds.
when you were first advised of this property and we sort of said there's some mobile footage of possible orbs, what were your initial thoughts? Be honest.
Well, you know, we tend to think of orbs as being, oh, it's dust, it's insects, and we tend to think that we can explain most of them away. However, I've never actually seen footage like that before. That is a first for me.
There's a lot to consider from not only from a photography point of view, that from a mobile phone camera, there's a lot of things can go wrong. They have a very small lens, the quality is reduced, etc. And it's not always about the resolution or the megapixel. But one thing that intrigues me about orbs on video, still images aside, is the behaviour. I mean, you can analyse the behaviour of insects, say mosquitoes or flying ants or flies or gnats or whatever, and then attribute that to sort of a lot of orb movement that you can capture. But what we've just seen doesn't suggest insects at all. Suggests clear intent in path and not as random as an insect would behave. And in particular, there's one point where they come in through the door and turn right towards the camera and go towards the camera as if to say, oh hello, you're there, and here we go, and directly forward. And it's just fascinating.
So in comparison to how you felt before you viewed the footage and after you've viewed, how have your opinions changed? Have they changed?
I'd like to run more tests to see if we can replicate that. It'd be nice to have the camera point at that door, use the Kinect to see how that represents, if we pick up anything, etc.
Yes.
So far, it's been interesting because the camera that we're talking to now has lost half of its battery in the first 10 minutes we were filming. The light switched
Can I
itself
just
off.
say it's gone back up from 179, it's gone back up to 287.
So we've got some strange electrical activity. I would like to see if we do a video maybe in the same conditions with the same lights on, the same lamps, whatever. I know it's dark outside now, but see if we can capture the same sort of thing on our video cameras, or like Matt says, the Kinect, and see how the Kinect interprets the actual balls. Yeah, interesting. I've never seen footage like that.
This was today.
Okay, so what's the plan of action now, do you think?
Well, it would be nice to look in the other rooms just to see what we're going to pick up and feel. Baseline readings have been done by H in terms of EMF and temperature, so that's it.
No,
So we know
strange
where,
EMF.
no, there's no real hotspots for giving off electrical activity, etc. in the switch box.
Which is not a very big field of.
So it'd be good to call out and see what we can get in one room and record in the other, see if we can replicate this.
What do you
The
think your
evidence.
major difficulties are going to be with tonight's investigation?
Well, the nightclub next door, we've got a lot of noise, but we'll just have to work around that. I suppose we're used to it. It's not that big of an issue because the activity that we seem to have is more visual rather than noise, so we can work around that.
It'll also be interesting to look at different light spectrums. I mean, we're currently in incandescent light now, but
Yeah.
when we switch to infrared, we may be able to see more of what's around than we can now.
Well,
So
I'm
I'm just
actually.
going to watch the video back and to see which room and what lights are on, and see if we can replicate that and see if we can capture something. First of all, though, I'd like to just start calling out and introducing ourselves and let, if there is any spirits here, let them know what our intentions are, so we're not just barging in on their territory and expecting them to perform.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually feeling quite excited about the prospects of this small building. So I think we should crack on.
Briefly, obviously, when I've got the toilet, so I've got a walk around, and I can feel obviously down there even floors, like walls you said, I feel like you're on the bit. But have you got any idea what this used to be before it was a flat?
Houses?
Right, because I've got it was a storage area.
Could have been for the shop below.
This
Yeah.
particular floor was like a storage area.
Be over
Because
8 years.
I've got a sort of a male spirit, like we said. Which was dated in 1920s, 1930s time. So it was a caretaker type of thing.
Could have been.
And very attached to the place, didn't like anybody messing with things, very particular.
Does it open that doorway?
It's sort of all around, and I can't get a name as yet, I'm trying to get a name, but that's what I'm picking up at
Kind
the
of all
moment
huddled
anyway.
together. So
Just watching, you know, the things that I sent you.
Were you watching it
the video files.
Is there any way we can get hold of that and then we can like?
She's going to send it to us.
I've got them there. It was just,
Claire's got them, she sent them to me, and I said,
I literally
"Do a
just forwarded
text
the
file."
email.
She says, you know, I'm watching them all on my computer. I said, alright, I'll do a screen capture. I've unzipped them in the TXT files.
Yeah, text.
But I literally all
And I
I
can
did
open them
was
in
forward
Microsoft
the
Word
email.
and it's just TML coding. It isn't even a video.
Interesting.
Should we start setting up for what we're...
Yeah, I
Shall
think
we-
we're starting in the next
Do you want
room,
to
just
start
in
to
case
connect
people going out
Because
first.
it's all like
First,
video
just because of the
1 to
time.
10, and it's just text.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no video
just
there.
the
But
table
Claire's been
for-
watching them all afternoon.
And a
She sent
tripod
them
if
to
we
Do you
me.
want?
Spare.
I've got a
It's got-
tripod. You can use my tripod.
Hi everybody, I've just set up a camera here I'm talking to now just to look at this door, because previous video footage that's been captured has picked up lots of orbs of an interesting nature. I mean, I know we don't really like orbs, but it's an interesting point because of the behaviour, as I said on the piece of camera before. So just down here I've got the laptop with the Kinect as well, and I'll pan around so you can see it. There's a camera there. That's pointing to the screen. Our software's expired, so I can't really do a screen capture that easily. But don't worry too much about that. At least we'll be able to see what's going on. And they've just setting up a vigil next door. I'm about to go and join them, so happy hunting. We'll see what this camera finds for us. See you in a bit. About 30 minutes.
What's that trying to do?
Okay, did you see anything there?
No.
Just maybe.
I think I might have just caught something on.
Let me shine it directly across. Like,
Be careful, 'cause it,
do you know what I mean? So it's...
Amy, would you mind noting at 22 seconds on this? Thought a quarter light normally, but I've just debunked it as like a strobing type thing for light. Well, that's affecting my infrared on me. You just look like a fuzzy. Look, your outline looks fuzzy,
Okay.
as if you're in a really soft focus.
What I'm going to do is I'll spend 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to stand in this corner. You can just focus the camera on me, just to see what happens. See if you get any focusing issues, power drain, light or noise.
So I'm going to focus tight in on you at the minute, just explain where you are and what you're doing.
Okay.
Hang on 2 seconds. Go.
I'm in this corner of the room where we've just done a vigil. I feel, and Ian feels, that there's where I'm standing now, there is an energy vortex. It's not entirely pleasant, but I'm just going to stand in the energy just to see what we can produce on camera, whether the camera goes out of focus or there's any kind of light anomaly or something that we can't explain. Because I stand in this energy now, I feel rather strange, because I'm being drained, so I'm curious.
It's blurry.
Thank you. I'm curious to know if the camera will show us anything.
So what are you specifically looking for to kind of clarify these points you're making?
Well, I'm just going to concentrate on the energy around me to try to separate from it, and I just need to know if the camera picks up anything,
If there's
like
any
light
blurring.
anomalies, if there's any blurring,
Okay.
etc. Or even if the light levels change, that does mean, however, you're going to have to switch it.
Okay, we're now rolling.
Just give it like maybe 1-2 minutes, something like that, just to see what.
I won't say what you look like. Your t-shirt is white, and I think you've got buttons on your pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you're more or less going topless, and you've got boobs with nipples.
Top of that.
It's okay. You said if there was any issues. Okay, if there is anything in this room,
I feel like I'm being problem.
Just stay out for a sec.
if there is anything in this room that would like to communicate with us, please feel free to use the equipment. You can change the lighting, you can make my picture go fuzzy on the screen, or show yourself as some light anomaly.
Do you want to say that exact same thing again, but with this light on that? And see if anything comes on your camera different.
We'll do it after, I think.
Getting very cold.
I'm going to tell you what I feel like. Sat here. I feel like my spine, not painful, I feel like I've got all my spine's getting less and less, and I'm like squishing into the floor like jelly. So I've got no bones.
Because they're sinking.
Yeah, it's literally as if I've got no bones. Hi everybody, we're in the second portion of our investigation, and currently we have split into you've got one large group and you've got two smaller ones. Currently the bulk of the group are back in the old bedroom doing their vigil. Amy and Jay happen to be in what would have been the living room, as Amy is doing some quick fire shots to see if she can pick up any light anomalies. And I'm just here with the lady that lives in this premises. Reportedly that she's caught light anomalies from the stairs go in the direction of the kitchen. So I'm just going to be here, cameras lifted up a little bit in the stairwell to make it level, and we'll see if we can pick something up. Alright, I hope we do. I hope we can prove something. Stay tuned. Okay, Claire Cam. The flashes that you can see is Amy taking quick fire shots in what would have been the living room area. Right now we're down a couple of stairs facing into the kitchen, where across the corridor the person living in the premises reports that she's caught light anomalies from here also. room space with my good friend Amy, and we have Katie and Nigel behind the camera who have let us in here. This living room space has posed a number of difficulties, I think, for the team. We at least have one person that doesn't really want to come back in here because the dynamics within the room are quite strong and it's drained them. We've tried various experiments so far. We've tried things with mobile phones, mobile phone to mobile phone close together to see if they both pick up the same thing, which they did. Fortunately, the camera didn't pick it up though. Whether or not that's a quality difference, I don't know. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do a bit of calling out, and we're going to use the cheap mobile phone app called Ghost Radar Classic. So hopefully we can ask some questions and we might be able to get some answers. So Amy's going to set up or find the application. She's going to set it up and we're ready to roll.
Awesome.
Questions? Well then, device up.
Ghost radar is on now.
Super duper. Right. Should we close the door? Or might be better.
I'm going to just close the door.
Might be naughty and pop a sweet in my mouth because I like to roll that way.
You can be extra night throwing across the floor if you want.
Huh?
You can be extra night throwing across the floor if you want.
No.
What do we mean?
Now, first of all, I think it's probably the proper thing to do if we're looking at the early 1900s, if we're using one of the details to go by. It might be better if we try and introduce ourselves first. If we closed properly, that wasn't closed properly, then it was only two. So the ball could, if there's a draft, it can make the door rattle.
Tap it, yeah. Close the door properly, then see what happens then.
I feel like particularly there's a big draft coming through.
I'm just...
Maybe it's shut properly now.
It's shut properly, so we'll see what happens. Once again, if that was you, you'd have to do it again just to confirm because it wasn't shut properly. So we don't actually know if it was a draft or if it was you. I'm sorry to keep asking. We just want to learn about you and see what you're doing here, why you're here. Do you like it here?
Come on, take some of our energy. You've been taking it all evening. Take that little bit more so that you can do something spectacular. Something, it doesn't have to be spectacular, it just needs to be something that we can definitely say is you and not something else.
Might be my eye, but I'm sure the camera was just shaking.
What time is that?
6 minutes 10. Worth knowing, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Does the music annoy you? Or do you like the music?
Might be drawing you to it. And you've done one word, so you know how to do it now.
All you have to do is talk into the screen. That before when we sat down.
So it was getting me quite a lot.
Yeah. When we were in here, I was sat there.
Already with you. Do you want us to go? Just say the word. Say the word and we'll leave you alone.
Can you bang on something? Can you move the camera? That would freak me out if the camera just like turned and pointed towards me.
Yeah.
you turn the lights on?
You can turn the camera off. I don't mind you touching me as long as you do it gently and don't do it to harm.
What?
What? Trays just entering the room again.
Can you finish that? What's what?
Why are you asking us what is? You clearly want to know something.
What's your question? Is it what is everybody doing in my house? Is it what are these crazy people doing?
You must look a bit naughty. Sitting here talking to a screen on the floor. That's exactly how much any communication you have with us means. Okay, I think we're going to have to close this experiment down now. Thank you for trying to talk to us. Maybe you can use a different method in a bit.
We'll be here for quite a while, so just come over and say hello.
Thank you.